Hey. Hey, yo, it's your boy Chidi Hells on this. This is a first edition of the African Hip Hop Critic. So we'll be talking a lot of stuff about African rappers and what's popping in African game. Yeah, today we're talking Kao Denero, and the topic is does Kao Denero really deserve to be among the top 50 rappers on the African continent? And okay, if he deserves to be among those rappers, the African rappers of the decade, does he really deserve to be among the top 10, top 20, top 30, 20, 50? Or he deserves to be among the other 60 apart from the 50? So that's the question here, man. I'm talking about. So you're going to be answering most of those questions here because basically Chenra Block Africa last year came up with a list of the best African rappers of the decade, and Kao Denero wasn't on the list. So we don't know the reason why Kao Denero wasn't there, but we shall leave it to the author who made the list, General Block Africa, talking about. So Kao Denero wasn't on the list of the 50 rappers, and recently his fans were like, that list was garbage, what stuff, because their rapper wasn't on the list, and maybe all the rappers in Sierra Leone, no rapper made it to the list. We can say by the time the guy made the list, he never knew about Kao Denero, or maybe Kao Denero doesn't deserve to be on the list. That's the questions that come to our mind. But in accordance to the poll I did on whether why Kao Denero wasn't on the list, many people were like, General Block Africa never knew Kao Denero. You know what I'm talking about? So Kao Denero was never known by then. It's not like they were sleeping on the rapper, but the thing is, Africa has 52 countries, man, and for a single person to know all those rappers, that means you have to really to be paid to do that stuff. So the rapper wasn't known in by the blogger. So aside the list, you need to know who's Kao Denero, what stuff. Kao Denero has 11 albums on his name. He started the rap game in 2000. Yeah, that's 20 years in the game. His first album was out in 2015. 2003? No, yeah, 2003, not 15, I'm sorry. 2003. Then he did his latest is this year. It's called Kiss the Frown, the 11th album. Has been in the game for 20 years. 20 years, I'm talking about. And he has really had war with his fellow rappers in his country. I saw he dissed Boss LA. He dissed York 7. He has been having battles with the greatest down there. I think he's not a man of peace, like for real. He's not a man of peace. So apart from dissing his countrymen, he came up and also started dissing African rappers like Calligraphy Jones, Sarkodie, AMI. Every rapper, Black Bones. He dissed all the best rappers in Africa. But about that, it worked for him. It worked for him. Like for real, because many people got to know Kao Denero when he dissed Calligraphy Jones. Because he came in the regime, let me call it a regime, whereby Calligraphy Jones dissed Nigerian rapper Black Bones. After dissing Black Bones, then Kao Denero came in with Kenyatta and dissed the Kenyan rapper. It was the song was so dope. The bars were really 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 so hard. That's the thing that got him introduced to the African scene in different countries. And about his saga and Sarkodie, that will be another day. I'm trying to really every week, I think every 2 weeks, I don't know. I'll try to see how I'm coming up with these episodes of African Hip Hop Critic. You know, so I'll see how and where I'll fix and talk about that saga between Calligraphy Joe. I mean, between Kao Denero and Sarkodie. It's deep, man. It's deep. But I may be having one side. I don't know what Sakodi knows or Sakodi says, but I'll really, really try to dig deep so that I can bring you a balanced stuff. Yeah. So back to the question: does Kao Denero really deserve to be among the top 50 rappers on the African continent? Yes, he really deserves. Because he has lifted this country on his back, and many people are recognizing Kao Sierra Leone because of him. 11 albums, and he has collaborated with different acts in the African continent. Has really, really done enough, but I think he has not been given enough credit, which I don't know why, because let's say the media in Sierra Leone is low. Like the media, African media doesn't focus on Sierra Leone much. The media, being in the media, that means you have to pay a lot of money. Like say for example, MTV. By the way, I'm noting down. I'm coming up with every stuff. And another episode, I'm going to talk about MTV based. Why rappers are not making it on MTV based music. Yeah, I'm coming up with that episode. So I was saying maybe MTV charges them a lot. Let's say Channel O. You have bloggers, they don't talk about them. They pretend that they are blogging about African rappers. Some are copying Kenra Blog Africa because he's really, really made the trends in African hip hop scene. I'm talking about. So really, Kao Denero deserves to be on the list of the best rappers in Africa. York 7 deserves York 7, yes. And yeah, I think those two can make it on the list of the top 50. I'm trying to see another rapper from Sierra Leone who can, yeah, the Shadow Boxer also makes on the list. That means in Sierra Leone we can get three rappers who can make it on the list of those 50 rappers. Yeah, that's confirmed. Sierra Leone can get 3 spots, on that list. Confirmed. You dig me? So Kao Denero really deserves, Shadow Boxer deserves, Zox 7 deserves. Yeah, I think those are the main crucial rappers who have did what they have done. The rest are good, but making on the list, man, it's not an easy thing because remember Africa has 52 countries, and you have to really, really work hard, and not even working hard, like you have to think hard, you have to do enough research, and you can end up like Sierra Leone having only 2 spots. That's big for Shadow Boxer and Kao Denero. Because why Shadow Boxer on the list? Because Shadow Boxer sold Sierra Leone out there in some way or the other, because on that track Confidential featuring D'banj and Idris Elba, that song sold out Sierra Leone. Yeah, we can't add Kanye West because he talked about the diamonds, man. Stop kidding me, my nigga. So that's what's up. So let's people need to stop disrespecting Kao Denero. He deserves on the list. That was the question. Yeah, that was the question. I won't go deep into the beef between him and Sarkodie and other stuff, because I wanted to just tell you that he really deserves to be on it. For the years he's been there, he has held the entire country. Because if we are to make the list, of the African rappers, best 50 rappers on the continent, not like every country will get a rapper out there, you know what I'm talking about. Not like you get one from you go to Libya, you go to Egypt, you go to what. No, you might find like a country like Nigeria having like 6-5 rappers on the list, Uganda having like 2, Sierra Leone like 2. You go to, there are countries like, let's say, you might find like Guinea not having, you might find like Malawi not having, Cape Verde not having a rap on the list, you dig? Because we're talking about not popularity in a country. We're talking about guys who have really tried to sell out their countries to different African countries. The collaborations you have made, the years you have spent, albums you have made, how much have you sold? Do people outside Africa know you? Yes, but if they don't know you and your country is so popular, then you can't make on the list. You dig me? Yeah, that's what's up. So basically, it takes 10 minutes, and I think I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for listening in. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We will be back with another episode of African Critique. Bye bye. That's what's up.